We're going to head to Old Trafford right now as well, because our talkSPORT presenter Shabana Hearn is outside the home of Manchester United. Good morning, Shaban.
Good morning, Woodsy. Thank you very much. The sun is shining here on Old Trafford, but that's not going to help the problems which lie ahead for Manchester United. I'm joined by a man who's a bag of nerves at the moment ahead of the game tonight. Former lightweight world champion boxer Anthony Crolla is here. Hi, Anthony.
Hi, you okay?
I'm well. Thanks very much for taking the time to come down and see us, but you're not feeling in good spirits, are you?
I'm not. It's nerves. I think any game against Liverpool, it's not the most enjoyable. The lead up to it, because of the carry-ons. My season ticket, like where I go in, is just behind us, and as you can see, we're right next to the Liverpool fans. So I've got to be honest. I want to be positive, but it's going to be tough tonight.
We will get to the main problems in a second. A little positive. Casemiro being unveiled tonight. Is that good?
Yeah, it's obviously it'd be better under different circumstances, but there's no doubting he's a player. I think we were talking off air. It's the only worry is recently, I think someone on social media said it yesterday, is United being used like the MLS, for Real Madrid players. But no, he's a winner, and hopefully he can give this team the much needed boost that's needed.
As a proud Scotswoman, I'm always looking out for my man, Scott McTominay. Yeah. But what does this mean for him in the starting 11?
It's huge, because I think Scott's come under a lot of criticism recently. I think him and Fred, they get criticised a lot in the middle, and I think I feel like they get used as scapegoats a little bit. People have their opinion whether they're good enough for Manchester United or not, but I do believe that they get used as scapegoats, which I don't agree with totally. But yeah, it feels like someone's sort of going to lose the place to Casemiro.
And we see him link up so well with Fred for Brazil, so it looks like that might be the partnership. Listen, the idea of Casemiro being in the team, you would think can only be a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely, but he's got to deliver. Listen, we've had some big names come to Old Trafford recently, South American names and stuff like that, who've just not delivered. So there is that, you want to be super positive, but you've also got to be a little bit realistic. But if it helps, raise the game of, your Scott McTominays, your Freds as well, competing, then it can only be a good thing.
Here at talkSPORT, we're powered by fans, and the reason we're here today is to speak to the fans who are protesting. We're expecting 10,000 fans to march down the Talbot tonight, safely and looking to get progress, for the club. Yes. Are you going to be part of that protest tonight, Anthony?
Yeah, it'll be a big turnout, and I'll be deadly honest, I'm not sort of sitting on the fence or being a hypocrite, because I would absolutely want to be in that, but it's a little bit hard when I've got my 8-year-old son, in that protest, and you've got to explain to him we're not going in to watch the match. But I'll be honest, it's there is a little bit of me that wants to be part of it, just in case my eyes are going to work in what I see. But no, something's got to change here, and it is gathering momentum, and there's been a lot of sort of positive news in the last week, but obviously we've got to see how it progresses. But it's getting bigger and bigger, the progress.
These protests are to get the Glazers out. Do you want them out?
Absolutely. Listen, I think it's disgusting what they've done, and you're gonna get a few people going, oh, the amount of money they've spent on transfers and this and that. Listen, the top and bottom is it, they wouldn't, in today's times, they wouldn't be allowed to get the club how they did. It's been run as a business, strictly a business for him, and there's not someone who's got love for the club. And wanted him out for a long time, but I think it's just rival fans says, oh, it was different when you was winning trophies, and there was signs, but there was still the protest going on there, but the protests are getting bigger and bigger.
Jim Ratcliffe offering that glimmer of hope as well. We're going to talk about it a little bit later on. Big fight was live to talkSPORT on Saturday night. I know you were listening to it. AJ against Usyk. Unfortunate for AJ. What's your thoughts on it now?
I thought it was a fantastic fight. I thought AJ was much improved, and at the end of round 9 it looks like he was going to complete that revenge mission, but then Usyk done what all great champions can do. He dug deep and he pulled out. His finish to the fight was unbelievable, and you've got to give him credit for that, because he was absolutely superb round 10, 11, 12. But it's just obviously there's been a lot talked about rather than the fight, and what a good fight was, what happened after the fight.
It kicked off in the studio between Woodsy and O'Hara earlier on this morning at 6:15. Is it important to count improvement?
Yeah, absolutely. It was, as Laura says, I'm not picking sides here, but
he's picked a side one.
No, but he lost a close fight. Listen, when I'm saying a close fight, there was no denying that Usyk won, and if he wouldn't have got the decision, it would have been scandalous in my opinion. But it was a much more improved AJ. He pushed Usyk hard, and he lost on points. It should never have been a split decision, but he lost on points to one of the best fighters on the planet. Yeah. So that's like the talk of him retiring is a bit crazy, because there's always going to be huge fights out there, do you know, for AJ.
Yeah. Former lightweight. Thank you very much, world champion Anthony Crolla. Thank you very much.
I
think that's Woodsy 1, Jamie O'Hara 0. Outside Old Trafford all day. We're powered by fans. If you've got a problem you want to vent to us, come and see us. We're here all day.
I've always liked Anthony, always.
Yeah, no,
always
nice guy, but I think I was right on that one, I'm telling you.
Well, let's recap it really quickly. All I was saying, Andy, is that it was an improved performance from his last fight against Usyk, and I don't think there's any denying that.
No, I think he was better. I still thought there was more. I was expecting more from Anthony Joshua. I was. He was so poor in the previous fight, but I was expecting to see him rock and really rattle Usyk. And apart from a couple of shots to the body, I think the first 4 or 5 rounds it looked like he was right in the thick of it. But then all of a sudden, it never quite happened, and he didn't look like he had that extra gear that you're going to need, that he's shown before. He's shown he's had it before, but he didn't look like he had that in order to win this one.
Round 9 was a big round for him, and then the way that Usyk came back into it, the last 3 rounds, and you're just almost thinking he's not human, is he, Usyk?
He got outclassed.
But there were one thing I would say was there were moments where you thought Joshua had a chance to almost go in and finish him off, and he almost held back or just didn't have it in his tank. I don't know, Andy.
I think that's and. You know, we've never been in there.
No.
I can't even imagine what that must be like. But in football, you get a moment, you sense you've got to try and go for it when you're playing well. When the team's on, when you're on top in a game, you need to score. And if you're having that moment in the ring, I would imagine you've got to step forward and you've really got to go all out for it. I didn't quite see him doing that. I can only totally agree with what Anthony Crolla just said there in terms of I could only see one winner when it finished. And obviously I knew the result. I watched the rerun on Sunday morning, but it didn't feel like it was that close a fight to me.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.